These people want you dead. They want you to die. That's all we can take from this. Are we just going to sit here and let them do that? No, of course not. That'd be stupid. Okay, so as most of you have already heard, there was a not very fun event that happened a few days ago. This was the Club Q shooting in Colorado. Very upsetting, very sad. I'm not even going to try to make light of it in any way. It was bad. I'm not going to go into great detail about what happened and why. I'm just going to play a real quick summary, 2-minute news reporting about it, and then, get into what this means and where we're going to go from here. Like what's going to happen from here and steps that we need to take as both queer people and as allies to make sure that we're protecting ourselves and those that we love. Let's get into it.
It's being investigated as a hate crime. Last night's mass shooting happening as today marks the Transgender Day of Remembrance. Survivors of the attack recounting the minutes of terror inside of the Colorado nightclub.
It was so scary. I heard shots, broken glass, bodies. It was... How? Why?
The horrific images fresh on Joshua Newman's mind after surviving a mass shooting at a Colorado Springs nightclub, leaving 5 dead and over 24 injured.
When I heard 4 to 5 shots, I thought it was the music.
Newman says he was inside of Club Q, an LGBTQ nightclub, during a drag show dancing when he heard the shots and ran for cover.
We're on the ground in the dressing room hearing more shots. People yelling, I think somebody tackled the assailant. They beat him up.
Police arriving within minutes to find the suspect subdued by patrons. He was identified as 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich. Law enforcement officials briefed on the investigation tell ABC News he is the same person arrested in a bomb threat incident last year, June.
At least 2 firearms were found at the scene. We are still working to identify the firearms and who they belong to, but I can confirm that the suspect used a long rifle during this shooting.
Again, it's supposed to be our safe space, and the community shouldn't have to go through something like this.
President Biden issuing a statement saying in part, quote, "There is no place for violence, hatred, and bigotry in America." Yet tragically, as last night's attack in Colorado Springs reminds us, too many LGBTQI plus people in the United States and around the world continue to face unconscionable attacks. According to its website, the Club Q will be closed until further notice.
So that's about the summary. Now, there's a lot of details in that. There was a hero, a couple of heroes that took part in that. Now, one of them was the guy that basically pistol whipped the other dude with his own pistol, mistook this person as a drag queen. She ended up being a trans woman. So just so you guys know, that was a trans woman, not a drag queen. That was not that guy's fault. He just didn't know. That guy's a hero. Don't blame him. But more to the point, if you want to look into the details, very heroic stuff by those guys. But I am interested in some other discussion points. So this guy, Anderson Lee Aldrich, let's learn a little bit about him. Look at this. Look at this ad. What is this? Hello? Jesus Christ. Thank you, CNN. The suspect in a shooting at a Colorado LGBTQ nightclub this weekend has been identified as Anderson Lee Aldrich, who police say walked into Club Q in Colorado Springs and immediately opened fire, killing 5 people and injuring at least 19 others. Faces 5 counts of first-degree murder, 5 counts of a bias-motivated crime causing bodily injury in connection to the shooting, taken into police custody, entered with tremendous firepower. Club patrons stopped the rampage. He changed his name about 6 years ago, which is interesting, so don't dead name him. Suspect previously arrested in connection with a bomb threat. So he has previously made a bomb threat. So why is he allowed to have a weapon? So let's hit on that first of all. This guy should not be allowed to have a weapon, but that just speaks to where we're at in the United States, that people who make bomb threats can a year later just have a handgun. Okay, that's cool and normal. That's fine. So let's keep going. We're just going to move right along past that. The grandson of a California lawmaker. Now, I was interested in this one. He's the grandson of an outgoing California Assembly Congressman Randy Vopel, according to social media reports and CNN interviews. Vopel, who has served as a state lawmaker since 2016, lost his re-election bid earlier this month. He could not be reached for comment. It's unclear how much Vopel, the father of Aldrich's mother, interacted with his grandson. As a lawmaker, Vopel attracted attention when he compared the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol to the Revolutionary War. This is Lexington and Concord. First shots fired against tyranny, he said, according to the San Diego Union Tribune. Tyranny will follow in the aftermath of the Biden swear-in on January 20th. Interesting content. Vopel later tried to walk back his comments by tweeting a statement, which read in part, "I do not condone or support the violence and lawlessness that took place on Wednesday, January 6th. Oh, yeah, great. Nice save, dude. So, I have conservative parents, right? Basically, my whole extended family is conservative. So I'm not one to sit here and say that like, oh, because his grandfather is conservative, that proves anything. But there is a through line there, yes? Like his grandfather is far right, as described, I believe, by his neighbors. I can't remember the news article I read that in, but he's far right. And you could see his comment here on the Trump thing. So it's not out of left field to say that he was influencing his grandson, especially considering the nature of these attacks. Okay, but that's not even the important part. The important part is these attacks took place as tensions are flaring up against LGBTQ people all this year, queer people, all this year. It's been happening for a couple of years, and I feel like it was really stoked and hurried on by COVID and all these old boomer fucks being forced into their houses for a while and not able to go to like Denny's and shit for their free appetizers and whatever. So they were just like bored and decided they were going to bully queer people and, get indoctrinated by the alt-right on Facebook. So this has been ramping up for a while, and it has been helped along by a few players, mainly Matt Walsh and Libs of TikTok, Chaya Raichik. When I was in high school, Colorado, I got expelled from one school for wearing a trench coat. How the fuck did he not get on the radar? That's a great question. If he's also conservative, the grandpa's rhetoric can have an impact on his behavior. Yeah, we can reasonably draw a connection there. Let's keep going. So as I said, Matt Walsh and Chaya Raichik have been pushing this along. Now, this was the pinned tweet on Chaya Raichik's account. I believe it was from slightly before the dates that this took place. Pinned tweet. Things are about to get wild. Boom. A few days later, gunman kills 5 at LGBTQ nightclub. What we just talked about, right? They wanted this to happen. They've been pushing this along. This was their plan, okay? Or rather, I think somebody put it better. This was their plan B. Their plan A was they put conservatives in power, enough conservatives in power to, make it so that they don't have to resort to just on the ground violence and stochastic terrorism. But now that that's not the case, this is their plan B. They want this to happen. So let's go over a few of their posts. These are some posts that happened right after the shooting. Matt Walsh says, leftists are using a mass shooting to try and blackmail us into accepting the castration and sexualization of children. These people are just beyond evil. I have never felt more motivated to oppose everything they stand for with every fiber of my being. Despicable scumbags. People die, and the first thing they think is, yes, we can use this as ammo against conservatives who don't think children should be exposed to drag shows. Soulless demons, evil to the core, truly. He quote tweeted Candace Owens. I didn't see this yet. I just want to make sure I'm correct in understanding that the left is using the tragedy in Colorado to make the argument that unless conservatives get on board with experimenting on children's genitals with puberty blockers, the nightclub shootings will continue to happen. Yes, you phrased that in a weird way because it's scientifically supported that puberty blockers are effective at helping people with gender dysphoria, but I digress. Once again, the guy who shot this place up, we don't know his motives yet, right? But we've been down this road before. These people are influenced. And I believe there actually is a list of people that he watched and states that he was influenced by it, but we'll save that. We'll table that. The point is, people like this are inciting even more violence. Remember that Matt Walsh is the one that targeted Boston Children's Hospital, who then later got a bomb threat from somebody, right? They got a bomb threat. So that was cool. And now they're just, continuing with that behavior. Libs of TikTok, right? Wait, hold on. I thought I had something open here. So Libs of TikTok, like I said, was also pushing this along. I believe they always post about shit like drag events. You can see here, this is November 21st, fresh after the shooting. They're just continuing right along, posting about this person doesn't identify as a human, but as an inanimate object. So it uses its pronouns. Very dangerous, very deadly. This person, if you ever do encounter this person, I'm sure that they will do something to you, I guess. They say that, Chaya Raichik is just posting videos that people post online anyway, and then just says things about them. Let's take a look at some comments. Holy shit, I know this person. How do you feel about libs of TikTok targeting someone you know? Excuse me, something you mean. And don't worry, inanimate objects are just that, inanimate. They have no rights and no feelings. So that's not what it/its means, but thank you. I personally actually don't know what it means. I'd have to look into it more. If I posted something online and someone else made it more known till I had spread my message to a larger audience, I'd consider it a helping hand and not an attack. Ah, yes. Libs of TikTok, known for helping her trans ally, her being an ally to trans people, helping out trans people get some well-needed popularity. LTT isn't targeting anyone. She's simply illustrating some of the more disturbing trends in our society. If the person in the video doesn't want it to be shared, she should refrain from making and posting it. So I like this take right here. Let's talk about this. If you don't want to be harassed, you just go away. You just go away. You just like go away from the public forum. You just go away from the social media, right? Cool. So how does that work somewhere like at school where you literally can't, right? You're just like stuck there. You know, out in society when you're just like out in the in a store somewhere and somebody like points at you and calls you a fucking trans groomer, which has happened and will continue to happen. Thanks to behavior like this. Let's keep going. So Libs of TikTok engages in behavior like this and it leads to the shooting at the Q Club, right? Which is great. It's not just Matt Walsh and Libs of TikTok though anymore. Tim Pool has decided to drop his proverbial hat in the ring. Not that he would ever do that because, you know, he's even more bald than I am. And he says, we shouldn't tolerate pedophiles grooming kids. Club Q had a grooming event. How do prevents the violence and stop the grooming? That's awesome, dude. It's great. The renowned centrist, Tim Pool, well known for his centrism and his both sides takes. Very good. Very cool. Love that. Good stuff. Are blatant death threats allowed yet? No, we're not doing that. No, come on now, come on. I wouldn't mind if he had his Minecraft account deleted though. Okay, that's real cool. So where am I going with this? This is not just these bigwig commentators saying this shit. Like I just said, it trickles down, right? It trickles down. The behavior trickles down. We have trickle down, what do you want to call it? Like trickle down homophobia, right? Homophobia, transphobia, queerphobia. Trickle down queerphobia. So it comes from these big guys, and then lo and behold, a shooting happens in Club Q, kills people. You know, like it ends their lives. They are dead, which is bad. And we should universally recognize that that is a bad thing to happen to people who have not been charged with, convicted of any crimes. Even if they have been convicted of crimes, it's like we have a justice system for that. So this is bad. This is a bad thing. But not to these people. They think that this is pretty cool. They said this is in the comments of a news report about the shooting. They fucked around with the kids and then found out, leave the kids alone. Stay away from kids, says American Spirit. The American Spirit. We love that. Here's another one. Same place known to groom underage children. These pedos got what they deserved. So it bears repeating. These people want you dead. We all on the same page there? They want you to die. That's all we can take from this. Are we just going to sit here and let them do that? No, of course not. That'd be stupid. And that would be a very liberal thing to do, right? We're not libs here. We're not libcucks. We are leftists, right? We're fucking leftists, God damn it. So we're going to do something about it. So I made a nice little thread. It is it's not all-inclusive things that we should do, but I just wanted to go through a few of them, okay? Just things that I thought of off the top of my head that I think everybody should either, if you're able to, if you can afford it, if you have the resources and the time and whatever, start working on this shit, okay? This is Alex declassified homo survival guide, okay? The homos and the transes, got it? And your allies. Things every queer person and ally should start doing ASAP. All right, we got 11 things here. 1, start saving money. All right, I'm canceling a lot of subscriptions and even my testosterone injections to accomplish this. I am canceling my testosterone. It's very sad. Start living like a finance bro. Money is your best friend. 2, if you live in an abusive household, seek an escape. This can be exceedingly difficult, but formulate a plan and start working toward it. Find outside help if you need. 3, buy a firearm. We hear this one a lot, but it bears repeating. Purchase a gun and learn how to use it. Doesn't matter what kind. If you're suicidal or you fear you may become suicidal, please skip this step. 4, update your passport. Vosh fans know this one. I need to get my passport figured out soon. Hopefully it doesn't come to evacuating the country, but you can't be too safe. 5, learn basic self-defense. In dangerous situations, your first instinct should be to run. But if you must fight, you should know how. Look up YouTube tutorials if needed. Don't forget when shooters are stopped in their tracks, it is almost always by an unarmed person. I personally am going to go do some Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know where yet. I'm going to look around, but I'm sure there's a place near me. Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu I think Jiu-Jitsu particularly is the best one for restraining people and like stopping them in their tracks and keeping them where they're at. So if you can learn jujitsu, I mean, there have been really tiny guys. I think I've done like 1 or 2 classes, and there was a tiny guy I was against, and he was really good at jujitsu and managed to hold me down. So it's good shit. Failing that, go look up some YouTube tutorials. 6, organize around your community. Volunteer, meet your neighbors and get to know them. Learn who they are. Besides just making friends, you'll learn who you can trust and who may be a threat to your safety. Very important that you know who's around you. 7, know your surroundings. I go on runs every day, so I'm familiar with the routes of my neighborhood and surrounding area. Formulate a plan in case you need to make a quick escape. I still need to find like a good escape place. I know the routes, but I don't know like where I would go if my neighborhood were compromised. You know what I mean? Or like if there were a shooting taking place in my neighborhood. I guess if that were happening, I could make an escape either out a window or out a door and just run, dude. Just fucking run. And know where you're fucking going, okay? 8, start going to school board and city council meetings. Pester your local politicians. Make them see and hear you. Now, I do want to add a caveat to this one. If you're in danger because of your identity, please reconsider this one. I personally am going to do this, as I have been and will continue to do. But if you feel that your identity is putting you in danger, maybe avoid this one. 9, read the newspaper. Check your local news websites. This can be boring, but a quick glance at the goings-on near you can inform you of the attitudes of the people surrounding you and what your local politicians are up to. I have taken exactly 1 look at a newspaper and almost immediately fell asleep. I need to be better about this. Do as I say, not as I do. I encourage you guys to, knowledge is power. I encourage you guys to know what's going on. 10, if necessary, hide your identity. This is a last resort, but an unfortunate necessity for safety in too many circumstances. Take care of your mental health as best you can until your circumstances improve. I say this to a lot of people. I am the last person to have any right to tell anybody to hide their identity for their own safety, because, you know, I don't need to, because I've been blessed with being cis heteronormative, at least for the most part. But unfortunately, this is the reality that we live in. Some people do need to do this. So if that is you, mental health is a part of your safety. But, you know, like if your immediate needs require this, it's just going to be a necessity for a little bit. I always say put your physical safety first, always. As soon as you can, seek out circumstances to improve your well-being. It's very difficult to do and much easier for me to sit here and say it, but that's the best I got. All right, one thing that I forgot to include in the original list, buy a basic first aid kit and learn CPR and BLS. Invest in medical supplies and keep some in your car. A blood pressure cuff and O2 sat reader wouldn't hurt either. I recommend like splints, gauze, alcohol, like wound alcohol. Okay. If you know what those breathing pumps are for CPR, you can use one of those. Isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, that's what I meant. Tourniquets. Yeah, learn when and how to use them because they can be dangerous. But like I said, look up BLS and CPR. That's your most vital asset. BLS and CPR. BLS is going to teach you how to take care of somebody who is bleeding out. Very important. For you guys' info, the first thing you do, obviously, is stop the bleeding. I think we all know that. Get a nice soft towel. If you need a shirt, use that. Something. Put pressure on it and hold it there as hard as you fucking can, all right? Because you gotta keep that blood inside. You cannot bleed out. Blood pressure cuff helps too. If somebody's blood pressure is tanking and they're not bleeding on the outside, they might have internal bleeding. You know that right away if their blood pressure is tanking, stuff like that, okay? Those are just my quick and dirty tips to survive a catastrophe situation. Hopefully you will never need them, but that's the best I got. Things are gonna get bad. Let that sink in. Things are going to get bad. We can see the rhetoric shifting, okay? They're just out here saying it. They're just saying it now, okay? This is the turning point, guys. This is going to pop up more and more in more places. I hate to be doomer. This is not doomerism, by the way. This is just reality. Doomerism would be saying there's nothing we can do about it, but there is. We're going to fight this. We're going to stand together. We're going to fucking fight this shit because they're counting on us giving up, right? They want us to not go out anymore. They want us to not enjoy our lives. They want us to be hidden from society. But we're not going to do that. We're going to be fucking proud of who we are, okay? And we're going to defend ourselves. It's not going to be a full-blown civil war, like at least officially, but it's going to be conflicts like this. And I do see there could be armed factions that butt heads. We don't know yet. So prepare yourself. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Another thing that you might want to do is stockpile some food. It's hopefully not going to be necessary, but canned food, you know, basically any non-perishables, just like have a week's worth at least somewhere. Just sitting just in case. If you have a basement, if you have like a safe room or something, not most people don't, but you know, have it somewhere, or at least like a sack that you can grab and take with you if you feel like you're going to be out of your house for a while and not be able to access your fucking bank account or something. I don't know. Just some thoughts. Go into fucking survival mode. It's time. Okay? It's time. Start learning how to fucking defend yourself. I just want to point out that they keep saying the gays are groomers. Meanwhile, most child sex offenders that are the conservative religious types. This is true. They don't care though. They don't care. That's not what this segment's about. I would love to talk about that at some point, but this segment's just about keeping yourself safe. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Remember to keep yourself safe out there. This shit's only going to get worse, so prepare for that. If it doesn't get worse, at least you were prepared. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you want to see more. That helps me out. That helps the channel out. Like I said, I am trying to save up money, and YouTube is just about to be monetized for me. So, it doesn't cost anything for you to do, and it helps me out. And it takes money away from YouTube, so that'd be cool. I can finally start making money off of the shit that they've been profiting off of me for since I started my goddamn YouTube channel. So, also come join us in the chat. We have some lovely people here. This was not a fun segment. We usually do stuff that's more fun than this. We usually do some reaction content. Right after I end this, we're going to do a little bit more fun stuff. You can stick around for that if you're in the chat. And if you're not in the chat, come join us. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.